Hey guys, what's up? It's Darkmerc here and welcome back to another video. As you can tell perhaps from the title, this is just going to be a general chat video today. So like I did in Legion where I had the Talk Legion to Me videos, I'm going to use Babble for Azeroth in BFA as my go-to videos to talk about things I'm doing, things that are going on in the community, changes I'd like to see, or just anything else that I feel like talking about. As I've kind of gotten more and more comfortable in creating content and doing things, it's nice just to be able to have and make videos like this rather than, you know, drilling down on a spec or a dungeon or an achievement or a mount guide. It's nice to be able to have a conversation with yourself and then throw it on the internet. So I'm going to cover off a range of things today, but I want to start off talking about streaming. So I have finally got on board the Twitch train. It took a hell of a long time, but 2 weeks ago I finally started streaming. And I am absolutely loving it. The reason it took me so long was that I just didn't know how I was going to be received on Twitch. And what I mean by that is I work for 000, so like America 911, or in Europe I think it's 111. I work for 000, so I work a rotating roster, so I work, you know, 4 days on, 4 days off. It always changes. It's days and nights, and I have a family on top of that. So I can't stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I can't commit to that. So I didn't know how I was going to go, you know, being on Twitch and sort of trying to create a following and trying to get, you know, my content out to people, because that's obviously the goal of this. So I held it off and held it off and held it off, and then I eventually thought, stuff it, I'm going to start doing it. And I'm having an absolute blast on there, and I've actually been blown away at how much support and how okay people are with not having a set stream schedule all the time. I know that's obviously the preferred method for a lot of people, but so far people have been really good with it. So a huge shout out to anybody that has come over and followed or jumped on the stream chat. It has just been amazing, and I love having that real-time interaction with people. YouTube's obviously fantastic, but there's a large delay in the comments and things like that. Whereas this, you can have a conversation with people, you meet new people, you find out things about people, share experiences, all that kind of stuff, and you can help people or you can get help. So I've made some new friends, which is absolutely awesome. So look at me, mum, I made new friends. I've also been streaming my Mage Towers, which has been really interesting. So the Mage Towers have been a really large pool of content for me throughout Legion, and something I've really enjoyed. And then people kind of started asking me to stream them. So I eventually did that, and that's kind of got me into Twitch, I suppose. And that was really daunting from the beginning. It's really easy to record all your footage on the Mage Tower and then just clip out the funny bits, put the kill attempt in, and away it goes, and it looks really easy. It's very different when you show the complete process to, you know, to whoever wants to see it live. Especially when we're down to the classes where, you know, I only played the 6 tanks kind of thing, and then everything outside of that was a new experience. Some of these characters I have never played before at all, really. They've all been leveled via AFK in the WoD invasions and then AFK in the Legion invasions. There's so many specs I've never played before, and that's obviously really confronting when you show everyone, but it's provided for some good entertainment, and in the end of the day, that's realistically what we're here for, and I'm having a blast doing it. So I'm 27 of 36 in the Mage Towers at the moment, and the plan is now, with the Warlock, Mage, and Priest, all three, which I have absolutely no idea how to play, that I'm going to do all 9 Mage Towers on the one day. Now, it won't be this coming Mage cycle. It will most likely be the next Mage Tower cycle. I finished leveling my Priest the other day. My Warlock's at 910, my Mage is at like 890, and I'm just starting to gear the Priest now as well. I'm going to try and aim for around 920, 930 item level. I feel I'm going to need a really big gear advantage to be able to cheese through these classes, having no idea. And I will be honest with you, I am absolutely dreading going back to the healing tower with Holy Priest. I don't know how I feel about that, and the Frost Mage one, from what everyone has been saying, is starting to worry me as well. But it's going to be fun. So that is going to come up, and I'm going to, as I said, I'm going to try and stream all 9 towers on the one day, provided everything goes well and I manage to get through them. So If you didn't know, the Mage Towers will be going out in 8.0, so there's about 2 months left to get these skins. And I was never even setting out to get 36 of them, and then people sort of started egging me on, and now here we are. So that's what I've been doing, and that's what's been chewing up a lot of my time. I've been trying to get over to beta as well, but it's obviously really hard with a 2-month window to do this, and I have to get 3 characters geared up in 3 specs, and yeah, it's very time consuming at the moment, but at least it's given me something to shoot for. Talking about BFA and beta at the moment, something's been coming up a lot in stream that I really want to touch on, and that is class reviews coming out at the moment. And don't get me wrong, I am making them too, because all content creators are trying to do that at the moment, as it's where all the views are. Everyone is curious about how their class is performing in BFA at the moment. I just want people to be really careful with that and have a real consideration for the perspective they're applying to those reviews. So I think the best example that I can frame what I'm trying to say from a starting point here is at the start of Legion, when Sko made his Mythic Progression Raid tank guide. So he made tank ratings, or not guides, sorry, tank ratings for progression rating, okay? And he ranked all of the tanks, and then the forums were flooded with people who don't even raid Mythic saying, Sko rated Vengeance Demon Hunter down the bottom, what should I reroll, help me with suggestions. Sko rated Guardian Druid as the best Druid, rip my class, time to reroll, yada yada. And it went on and on and on, because people really seem to miss the part where the guy said progression rating. You know, you've got a video coming from one of the best raiding tanks in the world. His viewpoint is going to be very different from Average Joe, who runs in Average Joe's guild Monday and Wednesday nights or whatever doing normal mode. Their needs are extremely different, and I think that's something that you really have to remember when going into a new expansion. The other thing you have to remember is people really hate change. At the start of Legion, every single tank was getting shit canned as well. Blood DK at the start of Legion with low haste, there was real issues around. You either had 2 choices. One was that you pressed Marrow Rend to keep up bone shield stacks and you couldn't do anything else. The other was that you said fuck it and you just heart striked your little heart out. It's kind of the same now in BFA. Your bone shield stacks get eaten extremely quickly. You're at like 14% haste unbuffed, so your runes take forever to recharge, and it's slow. Compared to Legion DK, it's extremely slow, but that's exactly what Legion DK was like at the start, and I think everyone kind of forgets that to some point. I don't actually mind playing Blood DK in a dungeon at the moment. How will it go in raiding? I don't know, but how will it go in normal and heroic raiding? It will go fine. Have Blood DKs ever been super fantastic mythic progression tanks? No, they haven't. Why? Because their toolkit's not really set up that way. They're not really set up for sustainable, long periods of time reducing damage, like Brewmasters or Druids. They don't really have that kind of toolkit. I don't actually think they're really that bad in Legion, and I think we'll actually see an improvement in the Blood DKs. It may very well take a little bit for them to get to the state we're used to in Legion now in regards to the playstyle flow, maybe like 370, 380 item level. And that may very well be after the first tier, but I don't think it'll be as bad as people are making it out to see, because I get people coming into stream saying, people are saying Blood DK is really slow, that you can't do anything. We're still 3 months out. There's a lot of tuning to be done. And I think it's pretty safe in saying that if you're a normal or heroic raider, just play whatever the fuck you want to play. Play what you enjoy, because I don't think Blizzard are going to design any raiding counter on normal or heroic that a class can't function in. I just don't see that happening. Mythic is a complete different sandbox. It is separate. It's on a separate playground away with the Ivy League kids. It's just very different, and that's where class stacking and the best of the best comes into it, because you're progressing. If you're under geared, you need certain classes that can deal with certain mechanics. That's what comes in at that level. It's not as huge a deal on normal and heroic. So please, for the love of baby Jesus, take some perspective when you're watching this stuff. You know, points of views, opinions, they're like assholes. Everyone's got one, and it's fantastic that you guys find a favorite asshole that you love, but just relate it back to yourself. Are they a mythic raider talking about their situation? Does it really apply to you? What class have they been playing? Have they been playing a class that's got extreme resource management, that is complex, and they've gone to a really simple one and they're talking about how boring it is? Does maybe that have something to do with where they're coming from rather than how the actual class is? That kind of stuff. Use your brain, figure it out for yourself. Of course, watch my videos and like them all and agree with me, but in the end, make up your own mind is all that I'm saying. So that was probably a really long-winded way of saying play whatever the fuck you want, but I'm just seeing it everywhere at the moment. Absolutely everywhere. For my personal point of view at the moment on BFA, I've been playing a hell of a lot of Vengeance Demon Hunter and Blood DK, and I'll be playing those two classes at the moment as my mains in Battle for Azeroth. I'm probably going to shift the Brewmaster aside for the moment. I really like the changes they've made to Vengeance Demon Hunter, guys. Like, the class feels really fun to play now, and it feels really good off entry level, whereas the DK I think will be far better once, you know, we've kind of pounded out past the first tier, but we'll just have to wait to see. There's a hell of a lot of tuning to come in the 3 months. In regards to class guides and things like that, I'm going to wait now. I'm going to wait about a month till BFA is due to be released before I start doing them. And the reason why is because I got burnt recently on the Prot Warrior. So I made a Protection Warrior review video after waiting forever, thinking Blizzard had kind of settled on their idea. And then 5 days later, they went and they introduced Ignore Pain back into the equation, took 10 rage cost off shield block, and they did something else that I can't remember. But yeah, they changed it. So I don't want to make a video every single week on class reviews or every single beta build. That's not really what I want to do. So I'm going to hold off a little bit, and about a month before I'll try and put out one for each of the tanks, just with my thoughts on it. So then you can take that and make your own mind up in regards to what you want to play. And even after that, I would still always encourage people to actually play the class and figure out what they like best for themselves. So that is pretty much it, guys. That is all from me. That was the really big one that I really wanted to cover off. If you couldn't sort of tell, I had some real gusto about me with that one, because it's been coming across so much with so and so said this is shit. Now I don't know what to play, and I was kind of like, are you doing that stuff? No, then play whatever the fuck you want. Obviously for raiding, DKs and Demon Hunters have better toolkits generally for dungeons. That's just the way it's going to work, so they're probably going to lend themselves better to dungeon content. But again, everything is going to be viable. One thing I would like to see, and we still haven't seen anything yet around this, is cosmetic rewards going forward into BFA. So there's obviously going to be a really large focus around Mythic Plus, and what I really want to see is cosmetic rewards tied to Mythic Pluses. So what I would love to see is like the old challenge modes kind of style. A bronze achievement and a title maybe is for completing every single dungeon in a 15+ time. And then let's say a mount achievement for silver is completing every single Mythic Plus dungeon at a 18 in time. And then a gold one for a set of cosmetic armor or something like that is completing a +20 on time for every single dungeon. Something along those lines would keep people pushing through Mythic Pluses. And that's just something I would really like to see. I don't think we'll see Mage Towers again in BFA. They're not going to bring challenge modes back. That was the answer with Mythic Plus. So I'm really hoping we can see something like this. But that's it for me anyway, guys. I've probably rambled on for far too long. I apologize once I get going. Shutting me up is a real issue. Thank you very much for all the support, guys. Thank you very much for taking the time to check out the video. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you all next time. See you guys.